So in this video, I'm going to do step-by-step instructions on how to program a multi-plus by Victron for Battleborn batteries. So the precursor to this part, which I can't show you, is it assumes that you've taken an MK3 cable, plugged it into your multi-plus, and then plugged it into your phone or your computer with the Victron Connect app, and you can see the Connect app on your phone or computer. When you connect to it via the Victron Connect, you'll see the display name here, and you'll be able to access the whole thing. So it should look like this when you start. You'll hit the gear button here. It will then ask you for a 3-digit code for your password. That password is 3Zs. After you enter that in, you'll have access to the settings in front of you. The first thing we're going to do is click the general button and change it from 50 hertz to 60 hertz for North America. They're going to make sure it's 50 amps is enabled, current limit overruled by remote is enabled, dynamic current limit is disabled, and battery monitor is disabled. After that, we'll go back and we'll jump into the grid settings. We're going to make sure these two top options are enabled for you. You want to make sure that low voltage disconnect is 94 volts, that low voltage connect is 95 volts, that high voltage connect is 138 volts, and the high voltage disconnect is 143 volts. After that, we're not going to play with this. We're going to leave it blank. Then you'll go back. You'll jump into the inverter tab next, and then make sure it says 120 volts. The ground relay is enabled. At this point, you want to make sure input low shutdown is set to 11.5 volts. That DC low restart voltage is set to 12. And DC low input alarm is actually going to be set to 12 as well. We're also going to take low SOC shutdown and make sure that is disabled. We're going to make sure the AES is disabled. Power assist is enabled with a boost factor of 2. Then we'll go back once more and we'll jump into the last setting we're going to play with, which is the charging setting. Here you want to make sure your charger is enabled. This particular multi-plus can go to 120 amps, so we're going to set it to 120 amps. For Battleborn batteries, we want the absorption voltage to be 14.4. We want the float voltage to be 13.6. We're going to leave the repeated absorption interval to 7 days. The repeated absorption time, we're going to leave to 1 hour. The absorption time itself, we're going to leave for 8 hours. We're going to disable low temperature cutoff. Charge curve is going to be fixed. We're going to make sure lithium batteries is enabled. It's going to look like that. That disables the storage mode, it disables equalization, and we want to make sure we have weak AC input disabled and stop after excessive bulk disabled. Once those are all set, we'll go back once more, and then we'll hit the X in the settings. At this point, your multi-plus would restart by itself, and those settings should be saved appropriately. And that's how you program for Battleborn batteries.